Jake Paul and Tommy Fury are rumoured to fight in February 2023. It would be an interesting fight and has many people thinking about who would win this. However, it's clear that if these two were to fight, it would not be competitive. In fact, I don't think it would even be close. We have a few aspects to look at to make this make sense, but by the end of this video, you watching will also agree with me. This is exactly why Jake Paul destroys Tommy Fury and why it's not even close. First, we have to look at their physical attributes. Jake Paul, 5'11", 6-0 with a 67% KO ratio, 76-inch reach. Now, for Tommy Fury, 6 foot, 8-0, 50% KO ratio with a 76-inch reach. Tommy has the edge in terms of experience, and of course, we'll get onto the level of competition as that means more than the amount of fights. However, from stats alone, it looks about equal so far, and you may be thinking it's quite a leveled match. So let's move to the next aspect, the level of competition. Tommy Fury has not really been challenged. Fought people like Anthony Taylor, who's not the best, and Jordan Grant, who's not great. Even with the low level opponents he's faced, he's only got a 50% KO percentage. He's struggled to knock out pretty bad fighters and overall has not been tested. Jake fought Deji, Gibb, Nate Robinson, Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley twice, and Anderson Silva. Tyron Woodley on paper should have beat him due to his striking background. In the first fight, Jake was able to keep Tyron away and ensure he wasn't caught too badly. In the second fight, well, we know how that went and it was impressive. But now we need to see the way in which Jake and Tyron are on two different levels. The best way to compare the skills are with the most recent fight. I want you to look carefully at Tommy Fury's general stance. As we see him box, he has a low guard, with his right being up and his left being down. This is already the first flaw. Jake has one thing which he can instantly use against Tommy, and that's that dangerous right hand, which can come right over with the help of his speed and land on him. This especially can be implemented when Tommy Fury goes in for a jab to the body. He is usually fully exposed when going in for this jab, and to the body, even letting his right hand go down. Right hand right over into the side. Now this is one way Jake can already beat Tommy. Deadly right hand has led to all of his knockouts, but there's a lot more to look at than just that. Tommy is fast and quickly can change and land combos. However, he usually boxes quite slowly and seems to only go quickly for certain occasions. This is not good when Jake is constantly applying pressure and being active, cutting off the ring. If Tommy wants to even stand a chance, he has to bring the speed he occasionally brings out for the whole fight. This could leave Tommy possibly gassing out, and this could lead to his guard further dropping. Jake will be different and will actually challenge Tommy, applying pressure constantly which will tire him. At this point, he can use that right, those combos and his speed to exploit Tommy even further. Now something which really stood out to me was the fact that Tommy Fury doesn't block shots or weave normally. He tends to raise his guard, but not to his head, in the air, almost trying to redirect the shots and hit them away. Now this is another fundamental problem. See, Tommy's guard when raised is open and actually quite easy to get around. Rolly literally punched right through it. Jake can double jab or flash jab, which is what he did with Ben Askren. This would get him through the weak defense and possibly startle Tommy. After this, a right following behind this would mean Tommy is getting pressured. Tommy normally doesn't get pressured, and this would put Tommy in the deep ends for pretty much the first time ever. Tommy hasn't had a challenge quite to the level Jake would bring. What this all boils down to in the end is the fact that he simply hasn't been put in the deep end. He's been able to protect himself from dangerous fighters by fighting not so great fighters. This was the case with Jake until he fought Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva. Jake can effectively exploit Tommy's weaknesses as we explained, applying pressure and using the fact that Tommy hasn't really got a good defense and the fact that Tommy can't keep a high output for a long amount of time. If Jake successfully uses these aspects, he'll beat Tommy easily. Also, it goes without mentioning Tommy has got power, but will he be able to utilize this with the pressure Jake constantly applies? The only reason Tommy has shown his power is because his opponent's kind of been punching bags, and you can do almost any power shot on someone who doesn't really hit back. So Jake knocks Tommy out. Want to learn pretty much any skill in the world? Well, if you use the top link in my description, you get a free month on Skillshare. Your first month will be free, so go and check that out. But who will win? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe.